Hi everyone, I'm Ben. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease back in 2009.
Hi, my name's Lucy and I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease towards the end of 2019.
Hi there guys, I'm Connor. I was diagnosed in 2019 with an IBD, but in 2020 I had my stomach operation where they was able to tell that it was ulcerative colitis.
Hi everyone, I have ulcerative colitis and I was diagnosed at the beginning of 2021.
Hi, my name's Caroline and I was diagnosed with microscopic colitis about 3 years ago.
Hi, my name's Liam. I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis around 10 years ago.
Hello guys, I got ulcerative colitis for 5 years.
Hello, I have Crohn's disease and I was diagnosed a 1.5 years ago.
Hi, my name's Katie. I was born with Ixon-Floss. I have dextrocardia and I was recently diagnosed with scoliosis.
I have multiple disabilities. My main ones are my stomach-ileostomy bag due to Hirschsprung's disease and dysmotility.
My name's Beth. I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease 8 years ago when I was 16.
Hi, I'm Yvonne and I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease in 2001 when I was 11. So I have had Crohn's disease for 22 years.
Hi, I'm Jess and I had fistulating Crohn's disease last July. I had an ileostomy performed.
Hi, I'm James and I live with ulcerative colitis. I was diagnosed in 2012.
My name is Katie and I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease about 6 months ago.
Hi, I'm Emily. I've had ulcerative colitis for about 12 years.
I'm Amy and I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease at age 7.
I'm Bri vs Endo. I have endometriosis and a few other chronic illnesses.
I was diagnosed in 2008 with ulcerative colitis. 4 years later, I had my bowel removed and I've had a colostomy bag now for 10 years.
Hi, my name's Rue. I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis around 18 years ago.
Hi, I'm Charlotte and I have ME, otherwise known as chronic fatigue syndrome.
I was diagnosed with Crohn's in September 2021 after a hospital admission.
Hiya, my name's Tyler and I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease in 2020.
Hi, I'm Andrea and I suffer with ulcerative colitis and I have done now for over 9 years.
Hi everyone, I have Crohn's disease.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle. I have ulcerative colitis. I was diagnosed in 2018 but was experiencing symptoms since 2017.
Hello, my name is Daniel and I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis in March 2020.
At the moment, I find that one of my biggest struggles is dealing with fatigue. Some days I just feel completely wiped out, I can't think straight, my body aches, and when that happens you just generally feel like your body is letting you down and you can't do the things that you used to do.
And for me, the most difficult thing has just been how I feel about myself, in terms of confidence, body image, things like that. These surgeries and medications you go on change the way you look a lot. It's been really difficult to come to terms with.
For me, I suffer more with the physical side of things, but that does have a knock-on effect mentally.
Biologics failed me onto surgery, which I was not happy about initially, but I can assure you for anyone that's sort of going down that route, it is really nothing to be sort of majorly concerned about. Yes, it's a change, but for me it's been a really positive change. It's given me my life back.
Is how unpredictable it is. So you can feel great one day, think that you're, going in the right direction, and the next day you will literally crash and burn. It makes it really difficult to kind of plan anything, going out with your friends, going to the gym, going on holiday, because you just have no idea like how your health is going to be.
So I just kind of avoid any stress. I avoid certain foods that will set it off, and as much rest as I can for that as well.
How much it disrupts other aspects of my life, that are out with the symptoms and the pain of the disease itself. It affects your work, your friendships, your relationships, hobbies. It really does affect you physically, emotionally, socially, financially.
I was worried that I wouldn't be able to find a girl or start a family. I found a girl and she's very supportive and she helps me through our disease, and guess what? I married her this summer.
People have very high expectations of me and I don't always have the capacity to meet those expectations and to achieve what people expect me to achieve, which makes me feel really stressed and in turn makes my symptoms worse.
It's the mental side of things, the fact that these conditions can limit me in some ways, but at the same time I try and look at the positives. I try and look at what I've got, what I'm capable of.
My main struggles for me would be the constant pain and fatigue that I'm in, and not being able to control my emotions, and the worry that I will never be a mum.
I've got my mum who's also got Crohn's disease, so I've kind of had someone to talk to all the time. But when I went into hospital a few months ago, I had to have 2 emergency surgeries, and I ended up with an ileostomy. But the things that got me through it was my friends, my family, and talking to people in the same community, just knowing that I wasn't on my own.
My biggest struggle for me was leaving the house and not knowing where the toilet was, because as you know with Crohn's disease, you need to know where the toilet is at all times, otherwise you will mess yourself, and it's just so horrible and a massive panic feeling.
And the hardest thing I've found mentally and physically is explaining my illness when you look good on the outside. So when you look healthy and you do all the right things on the outside, but internally you are struggling and dying inside, and people not understanding that. It's really traumatic, and it's really hard when people look at you and don't believe you because you look well. So that is physically and mentally debilitating to people, and I know a lot of people that are in the same boat. So be kind.
Ulcerative colitis has been a bit of a ride for me. At the start it was incredibly scary and very difficult and so unpredictable. A lot of up and down, and a considerable impact on my mental health, and stopped me going out for a very long time.
Whole process of trying to achieve an official diagnosis, I wasn't taken seriously, and it took a very, very long time for me to be officially diagnosed, and because of that I ended up in hospital a lot, really, really often, and that had a huge impact on my mental health.
And the thing I struggle with the most is joint pain and fatigue. I have some really good days, and I am thankful for them, and I have some bad days. And on my bad days, I have to learn to rest and heal myself inside and out. I've also taken to working out, and exercise really helps my joint pain and fatigue both. I get re-energized, my joints feel better, and that's what I enjoy doing.
The thing I struggle with the most has to be fatigue. Fatigue itself, mentally and physically, can be so draining, and especially because I've lost a lot of my life through no control of my own. I always say that I've not really started living until I was about 21, so I only feel like I've been living for like 7 years really, and having to find that balance all the time between knowing when to push yourself to kind of like live the life that you haven't yet, and knowing when to stop is so hard.
I feel like my biggest struggles at the moment, apart from like the pain associated with my chronic illnesses, is just the isolation and kind of feeling like I'm letting people down when I can't like do things. Yeah, I just kind of live like a normal 22-year-old, but yeah, I've raised awareness over my Instagram. I have a podcast with my best friend, and little by little it gets a little bit better, but right now I'm struggling quite a bit.
Even now these days, 10 years as an ostomate, I still struggle with chronic fatigue. If you need to sleep, if your body tells you to sleep, just sleep.
For the first 8 or 9 years, I was feeling pretty unwell most of the time. I was taking medication to try and control the symptoms, but I still suffered badly with urgency, blood loss, anxiety related to urgency, fatigue, wasn't able to eat a healthy diet.
And for me, the hardest part of being ill was losing my whole identity, because I didn't know who I was anymore. I didn't feel like me. I spent years grieving for this girl that I knew I'd never see again. I've come to see that the identity that I've gained from being ill is one that I'm so incredibly proud of, because I know that I'm the strongest person I know.
And since then it's been a bit of a roller coaster, but thankfully my meds keep most of my symptoms at bay. My day-to-day sometimes is just feeling really fatigued, or I'll have some abdominal pain which creeps up every now and then. I feel like even at my best, I'm still not as strong as I used to be. And I realised that I hit my peak of what I'm physically capable of, or mentally capable of, a lot sooner.
The things that I find most difficult about living with this illness is the total unpredictability of it. It can make life quite isolating at times, so it's important to have the right support system around you. I found the IBD community through Instagram, and it's been a massive help you know, connecting and building friendships with people that completely understand and can relate to what you're going through. It just helps make you feel that little bit less alone.
And how it can literally just put your life on pause overnight. I almost feel like there's always something lurking around the corner, and you just have to really try and stay strong and stay positive and just constantly pick yourself back up.
For me, the biggest thing that I struggle with my Crohn's disease is having a lot of people in my life who don't really know what Crohn's disease is or how it can affect me. The best advice I have if you're in a similar situation is just really sticking by the people who do support you and forgetting about everyone else.
Not knowing how you'll be tomorrow, 2 weeks, a year from now, which makes planning ahead really difficult, makes you wonder if you can work again, pursue your dreams or anything else you want to do.
My main struggle is not knowing what's going to happen with my future, and that can be anything down to my career, relationships, being able to work full time, and just doing such a simple task like travelling or leaving the house.
So I think the advice that I would give to somebody who is newly diagnosed or struggling with their diagnosis is get really good at saying no, and also get really good at saying yes when people offer you help. So balance up the saying yes and no. It sounds complicated, but if you have a chronic illness, you get it.
It's just opening up about it and speak to people, speak to your friends, your family, your colleagues, your partners, healthcare professionals. Because honestly, without everyone's support, I don't think I would have got through the last couple of years.
Have a good support around you, have good friends and family who are understanding, and also allow your time to recover, not only physically but mentally as well, because chronic illness is very tiring, it takes out you, and it's very mentally challenging. So putting yourself first is vital at all times.
We don't have to be productive every single day. It's important for us to have rest days. If we have an off day at work, that is fine. If we spend the weekend sleeping, that is fine too, as long as we are doing what's absolutely best for our bodies.
Keep going, because there are plenty of good days coming if you don't already have any. So yeah, keep positive and good times are coming.
Trying to remind myself how important my health is on a regular basis. You know, there's no job opportunity or coffee date or gym session or holiday or night out that's going to be more important than looking after your health. So yeah, health is wealth.
I stay strong, I believed, and if I can do it, you can do it as well. We have to stay strong together and believe.
And now I'm sort of coping with my IBD through going to the gym, getting some exercise, and trying to be positive and yeah, talk about my experiences.
And I've got to remember that I'm going to have bad days, but I'm also going to have good days. And I've got to make the most of the good days, and that's the main thing.
Take each day at a time and always speak to people, because you're never alone whatever you go through.
We get each other. It's such a hard illness, and when I'm talking so long about this, I can't help but just get upset, because it is such an awful illness, and I'm so happy that we have this community. So it's okay to show emotion, it's okay to scream and shout, let it all out of your system, because that's a great thing for mental health as well.
Things do and will get better. My one piece of advice would be to hold on in there, keep going, use the community for guidance, support and help, and just keep on doing what you're doing. You're going to get through it.
Talk to friends, talk to family about how you feel, mentally or physically. Describe your symptoms in great detail to anybody who's willing to listen. And if you don't feel like you have somebody there who is willing to listen, reach out to anybody in the IBD community, because they will help and they will listen, because they genuinely really want to. I want to listen to anybody who's going through a similar thing, because I would never ever want someone to go through those really low points and feel like they don't have someone to hold their hand, because you always do.
You're not alone, guys. My inbox is always open, and this community is absolutely amazing.
Daniel, you've been amazing, and you support me every single day. So for that, I'm truly, truly thankful. I feel like this community creates the best friendships ever.
The one thing I would say to anyone newly diagnosed with Crohn's or colitis, talk to other people. There are lots of people to talk to. Do not keep this to yourself. You are not alone.
Around 8 years ago, I had an ileostomy bag, and that changed everything. And I feel so much healthier now. I managed to get off medication and I can keep fit again. If you do get to the point where you need to have surgery, Don't assume that it's going to be the worst thing, because it could be the best.
And no matter what life can throw at me now, I know that I can face it. And for me, it's that feeling of not being afraid of life's pain that is so empowering. And that is what I wish to pass on to others.
If you are experiencing any IBD symptoms at all, please go and tell your doctor as soon as you can. You shouldn't be embarrassed or ashamed.
To keep going, keep putting one foot in front of the other. You are strong. There are good times ahead, there are tough times ahead, but we have got this.
It can be quite hard, but to everyone out there who has UC or any form of IBD, just know that you're not alone.
That it might be scary at the moment, but going through these extremely difficult times will make you into the person that you have always wanted to be. It makes you so much stronger to tackle anything that comes your way. We are warriors, and we are so much stronger together, and we will battle this horrible disease as a team and as a community.
It is hard, one of the hardest things in the world to go through what we've gone through. I'm here, we're strong together.
I would like to say thank you to everyone who has taken the time out of their day to send me their videos. This would not have been possible without all of you incredible people. I really hope that this video can help someone through their struggles and make them feel less alone. Us as a community are stronger together, and we can battle through anything as a team. Here's to the future of our incredible community.